Hey there, old-timer. I need you to do something for me.
I'm all ears.
You know I came here to Chernobyl looking for someone.
You mentioned a brother.
Yeah, Ruslan. We grew up together in Moscow. We had to fend for ourselves from an early age.
So you were, like, gangbangers?
The proper term is thieves-in-law, but you don't need to know that.
So why is Ruslan even here?
It's a long story, but our father was a cop. Like a lot of cops, he was a real piece of shit. He beat our mother every time he got drunk, which was always. But I'll never forget the last time. He took a swing at my head with a lead pipe. But this time it didn't connect. I wasn't a helpless little shit anymore, and neither was Ruslan. We grabbed the old man and threw him down the well behind the old house. He was just too much of a bastard to die, though. Only broke his legs.
You threw your own father down a well? I guess he must have deserved it. Okay. What's my role in all this?
My brother Ruslan did something he shouldn't, and after this something, he came here to hide in the zone. I've been trying to track him down for months.
Damn. What did he do that would make him hide in a place like this?
That's not important right now. Anyway, my best guess is that he was caught by NAR. I need to meet up with him and ask him some questions. This is very important to me. Search the NAR Mobile Command Center near the old hospital in Pripyat Port. There are some officer uniforms that'll help you infiltrate the power plant. And while you're at it, I want you to look up some info on my brother. Anything you can find on Ruslan Horobets.
Of course.
I knew I could count on you, partner. Stay in touch, just in case. Radio me if you need help.
I will.
Are you prepared to face?
All right, Igor, what's...
Let's go hunt some.
What's our next move?
So, what's...
What's the plan? Time to step up.
It seems that Olga's mother was onto something. Something that got her killed. Could it be the key to finding out about the NAR's plans? Just be very careful, my love. I feel you getting closer to the heart of evil. Soon you may reach a point of no return.
Head for the lab, Igor. Should be in the middle of NAR's camp. See if you can slip in unnoticed. Don't get in any fight unless you have to.
Sure thing, Mum. And don't worry, I've got my sweater.
You've got some issues, don't you?
Okay. Now's not the time to get distracted.
Locate the lab and try to reach it without drawing attention. You don't want to fight all these guys at once.
Prepare 50 mils of ferric chloride and...
Who are you? What are you doing in here?
That man on the phone. Who was it?
You're Kiminyuk. Dear God, please don't hurt me.
I asked you a goddamn question.
My boss, you mean? I don't know his real identity. Almost nobody does, I swear.
Do you really want to play it this way? I can see you're scared, and rightfully so. But it seems you're deliberately trying my patience.
No, not at all, sir. Please, I can't tell you what I don't know. But I can tell you other things. Just ask. Just don't kill me. I can be useful. You'll see.
Vanya, my patience is wearing thin. Where are those damned chemicals?
Answer him. But casually. Relax.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll send them right away. Apologies for the delay.
Spare me the excuses and move! I need that chlordiazepoxide and I need it now! You two, continue without me. I hope for your sakes you don't screw this up.
It would be best if you forgot I was ever here.
Of course. I won't tell a soul.
Look at the tissue structure. This used to be a liver, if you can believe it. We need to collect samples.
The brain is hyper...
Vanya? Finally! Who the hell are you? What did you do with Vanya?
Stay very still if you want to live.
Please don't hurt us. We're scientists.
Yeah, so was Dr. Mengele. Are you performing a vivisection without anesthesia? Administering shots of typhus? What are you doing exactly? I really want to know.
No, nothing like that. We're not beasts. We treat our patients as humanely as possible. But you have to understand that...
Scientific advancement requires sacrifice. Other people's sacrifice.
You make it sound sinister. But yes, everything we do is for the greater good.
How does it work? Are you shooting these poor souls up full of Chernobylite?
I can't talk about that. The NDA we signed is very strict. The penalties...
Did you just say NDA? Are you for real? Stop being a corporate stooge and start thinking about your own life.
Sure, you're right, of course. We started out giving them shots, but that was just the first stage. We're way past that now.
Uh-huh.
It was, you see. The fatality rate was... it didn't bring the desired results.
We've moved from administering nano-solutions to directly editing human genomes to enhance them with Chernobylite. We've developed our own Chernobylite CRISPR.
Your patients or subjects, whatever you call them. Especially the locals. What happened to them?
Which ones? There were many patients here. Some of them didn't make it past the final phase. The others, we don't know.
Don't let him dodge the question. Make him talk.
Look, please, can we all try to stay calm? Let us explain. Modifying genomes is only the first step. Next, we induce a state of superconsciousness in the subject's gamma brainwaves. It's basic neurology. The sympathetic nervous system begins to release enormous amounts of energy straight to the brain via the thalamic gate at the brainstem. When the thalamic gate opens, the energy flows to the pineal gland and... well, there you go. I don't like to use this term, but it opens a third eye.
A third eye? Right. Then what?
Enhanced by Chernobylite, the pineal gland can do incredible things. Release all kinds of energy, and even influence physical objects, as in telekinesis.
You're torturing people so they can bend spoons with their mind? God, what kind of quacks are you?
This is all following the scientific method, believe me. These are closely monitored, replicable experiments. Anyway, when the subject is ready for the final stage, we put them in an induced coma. Contrary to what you might think, it's for their own good.
Explain, and fast. What is this final stage?
Our boss calls it communion. It's when the subject's gamma brainwaves interact with Chernobylite's mental waves, or, well, to tell you the truth, we don't know exactly what it is. Chernobylite is like a virus, in a way. It's not exactly inorganic matter, but neither is it a living organism. It's something in between. And it produces a type of brainwave, even though it clearly has no structured organic tissue.
Well, what's the purpose of this communion?
This is where it gets really interesting. You know that Chernobylite can be used to create wormholes, right? You've been doing it yourself. But these wormholes are special. Haven't you noticed? They're not a purely physical phenomenon.
I don't understand. What else could they be?
We know what singularities and the tunnels should look like. We know what they are in theory. But has anyone actually been inside one before?
Bullshit. I've studied Chernobylite too. The exotic energy it contains is powerful enough to create quasi-black holes and passages between them.
We thought so too, at first. But think about this. What if there was an organism, or a virus, an entity powerful enough to create its own singularities?
No biological organism could encapsulate that kind of energy, or survive if it did. A living entity would be torn to shreds.
But Chernobylite is not a normal biological organism, is it? We have no idea what it is. Just try and consider the possibility that the wormholes you're walking into are not something created outside of Chernobylite. They are Chernobylite. You're traveling through the veins and corridors of its multidimensional body.
But what does that have to do with this communion thing?
Isn't it obvious? We're trying to communicate with Chernobylite, or somehow influence it through the mental energy of our subjects. But getting inside this thing's mind, or whatever it is, must be a truly disturbing experience.
You're fucking insane, both of you. You need to stay away from the morphine cabinet for a while. I've heard enough. Who's your patient here?
I'm not sure, but she must have been carefully selected.
Selected? How? Did she volunteer? Or was she maybe run down and captured by soldiers in the woods? Talk!
I'm not familiar with the selection process. Our boss would know. But we know very little about him.
What's your boss in charge of exactly?
The entire biotech division, pretty much everything Chernobylite related, but mainly the impact on human physical and psychological functions.
Clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats. How does this work with Chernobylite?
It's similar to a standard gene editing tool. We take specialized protein from a certain bacteria, modify it with Chernobylite, and then target the exact genes we want to modify.
Wait, I know more about physics than genetics, but CRISPR is usually done on embryos, right? And it takes time, sometimes even years, for mutations to show.
Our boss developed his own methods. The process is applied directly in the subject's body. The speed of the mutations has increased exponentially. It no longer takes years, but weeks, sometimes mere days. Marvelous, isn't it?
Enough. All I've got from you so far is a bunch of gibberish. I want to see the actual research. Where do you keep your data? All the research data?
Check the database in this computer. Everything can be accessed from here.
It's password protected, isn't it?
Promise not to kill us and we'll tell you.
Don't worry, I don't give a shit about you. Password.
23#98S $.
Listen to me very carefully, Igor. This research, this data, it's too dangerous to exist. My people died because of it. Delete everything. It won't bring my mother back, but at least no one will profit from her death, and the deaths of others.
You need to download this research, Mousy. This is the Rat King's brain stash. It's dangerous, yes, and inhuman. But it could contain the key to defeating him.
Good call. I knew you'd see reason.
What have you done, Mousy? Why aren't you following your mentor's guidance? The Rat King must be destroyed. Everything else is irrelevant.
Good.
Anyone there?
Being outside, cold, wet, and full of mosquitoes all biting you in the dick. Another hour gone, 3 more to go. Fucking hell.
Think I heard something. Checking.
Patrolling Pripyat almost makes you wish you were someplace else.
I'm sorry, Olga. Nobody deserves to die so horribly.
I was hoping for some good news, but perhaps I was foolish. My mother, these people, they were all just used, processed. How could anyone do something like this? Anyway, did you find anything of value?
Not sure yet. Bizarre theories about Chernobylite, mostly. I don't know if I want to get into the details yet.
Try me. I'm not a bookworm like you, but I'm not stupid either.
Well, NAR seems to think Chernobylite is like a giant turtle that carries our universe on its back. They figure they can tame it and ride it wherever they want. Like a pet.
A turtle?
It's just a metaphor, but the scientific theory behind it is no less insane.
Right. Thanks for trying, I guess. What's up, Professor?
I'm thinking about our next move.
I'm tired of all this thinking and planning. When are we gonna get up off our hands and do something? We should be out there, giving NAR 9 kinds of hell.
Do you really hate them that much?
I don't hate all of them. I even have a few contacts who help me with trade. But on the whole, NAR is pure evil. They should be destroyed, pulverized, eradicated, buried, wiped off the face of the earth.
That sounds a lot like hate.
They took my mom and my friends from me. Those fuckers capitalized on human misery. What could be lower than that? Rented the area from a corrupt government to make billions of dollars on unknown, untested technology? And then they have your Tatiana. Should I keep going?
Right. Yes. Tatiana's why I'm here. And if I find out they did something to her, they will pay. But bringing down NAR is not my priority. I'm not here to make the world a better place.
But you should be. I don't get it. I could never understand why your generation made a pact with the devil.
What would you have me do instead?
Shoot the devil in the face, preferably with both barrels of a sawed-off over-under.
In the area you're so nostalgic for, you could be arrested for nothing whatsoever. Speaking out of turn, or purchasing bread without your ration card. And they'd round up your family too. In order to survive, you compromise. Sometimes that compromise is ugly.
I would have fought against my oppressors.
You'd have done shit. The KGB would have thrown your ass in Lubyanka in less time than it takes to buy a counterfeit watch in Red Square. But times are changing, I guess. Perhaps your generation will usher in the change we need, Olga.
I just remembered something, Mousy.
What is it? More rat stories or history lessons?
A cautionary tale. A wise Mousy can always find a tasty bit of cheese, if he's smart. But take care that the cheese isn't poisoned or sitting in a trap. You never know what you might find.
What are you talking about?
Ozesk, 1957. Kapow! Evil rats were stirring the pot, trying to stick their ugly little snouts where they shouldn't.
Yes, I remember reading about that. It was a chemical explosion, right? Huge quantities of cesium-137 and strontium-90 were released into the atmosphere. Wasn't that classified?
While you were reading about it, my mother had to live through it. The placid Teka River, so beautiful this time of the year. But after the boom, so poisonous.
Yes, one of many regrettable failures.
No, Mousy. What you call failure, I call a deliberate plan of the Rat King. He lured the silly little mouses with a chunk of smelly yet delicious cheese. But it was poisoned. And the cheese you are looking for may be poisoned as well, even if it looks delicious. So be very careful, little mouse. Whenever you sense these machinations in the shadows, you can be sure that the Rat King has a part in it.
I'll keep it in mind. Thanks.
Hey, Igor. How are you?
I'm all right. What about you? Have you started to regret joining our little suicide squad yet?
No way. I live for this kind of thing. And since Anton's death, it's personal for me now.
Hopefully you won't change your mind. Shadows, NAR, Chernobylite, it's all a bit overwhelming.
Years ago, I met a young pirate. Just a kid, really. I was part of a team retaking a hijacked cruise ship off the Somali coast. The kid's colleagues chained him to a machine gun so he couldn't escape, and told him to shoot anyone trying to board the ship. He was so scared when he saw us, he froze in place. The chain was too thick for us to cut, and we didn't know what to do with him. There was no way in hell we could turn our backs on a PKM. I could have knocked him unconscious, but a blow to the head with a rifle butt could just as easily kill him. So I did the only thing I could. I unloaded his weapon and broke the boy's fingers. On both hands, to be safe. When it was over, we brought him back to Canada. Trudeau found him a nice foster family. I understand you feel responsible for this mission, Igor, but I also have a stake in this. Trust me, I will do whatever it takes to see this through. Whatever it takes.
What can I do for you?
Hi, Olga. I was wondering if you could
I'd be glad to.
Fantastic. I'm ready to learn. Oh, great huntress.
No jokes while we're training or I'll smack you upside the head. Got it? Today I'll teach you how to stay alive a little bit longer. Knowing how to use a med kit, healing salves, and herbs is obviously important, but I won't be talking about that.
What are you going to talk about, Olga?
About resolve, grit, and determination. About having the guts to do what's right, whatever it takes.
I get what you're saying, but what does it have to do with survival skills?
You know the stories about people who achieve seemingly impossible feats in times of crisis? There's this tale about an old woman who somehow lifted a tram because her grandkid was stuck underneath.
I'm sure that's an urban legend.
Even so, with inner discipline and strength of conviction, you can sometimes surprise yourself. Let me ask you something. Are you willing to die for Tatiana?
Without hesitation.
Good. Now what you need to understand is that she doesn't need you to die. She needs you to live. Stay alive, Igor. It's the only way to see this through. Nice job. It's so great to work with someone who actually cares. I'm tired of whiny people's bullshit.
Igor McSpreegor. What's up, Chief?
How's life, Mikhail?
It used to be so much better around here. These NAR assholes are really throwing a chainsaw into my trading operations. It's a pity. Closed cities and nuclear reactors used to be a great place to trade. Uncle Misha, God bless his soul, if he ever had one, used to trade in Ozersk in the 50s. He actually witnessed the construction of the first Soviet reactor. Get this, a huge ass pit in the ground. Thousands of prisoners and soldiers working their asses off. Without heavy machinery, these fuckers were like the slaves building the pyramids.
What you call cool is pretty twisted, Mikhail.
Take a chill pill, Granddad. Don't you get it? It's all chaos. Always has been. Back to the story. The camp guards were totally unprepared to deal with this level of chaos and had to rely on hardened criminals to run the show. Misha told me about this colorful bandit chief who used to sit on a Turkish carpet at the bottom of the pit, giving orders. He wore these puffy, exotic-looking sequined trousers and red shoes with pointy toes. As long as the guards provided vodka and some decent food, he kept all the workers in line.
I find that hard to believe. But hey, who knows?
It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. This place was very fucking special. And Chernobyl was too. Until everything went to shit. God damn it. I miss the olden days.
Mikhail,
Perhaps a fucking Lula gathering and preparing.
actually,
What can I do for you, Professor?
I'd like to...
Sure, Igor. What can I do for you, Professor?
What's up, Igor?
Tell me about your time with Yura Kirpish.
Why the interest all of a sudden?
You tested me because you wanted to know who you were working with. Now, I'd like to know more about you.
Fair enough. Well, I did a few things I regret.
Like what?
The business he turned for its goods redistribution.
You stole from the rich and gave unto yourself.
Not myself. We used to have a, guess you would call it a fund. Something like a joint bank account. Everyone had to contribute. It was used to pay for our wages and bribe the police, but also to help anyone struggling, living in poverty. Yuri Kipish is one nasty motherfucker. He also takes care of his neighborhood.
He sounds like a real hero.
You don't get it. How could you? You never wondered where you were going to sleep at night or when you'd get to eat next?
A lot of people are born into poverty. They don't all become criminals.
A lot of people are living a life of quiet desperation. I don't agree with that. I don't give a rat's ass about other people's rights and wrongs. I define my own morality. Never ask for anything and make your own luck. That's my motto.
That's pretty dark. I guess you don't have much hope for humanity.
Oh, I do. I hope it fucks itself over for good one day. Once and for all.
I would like to...
Sure.
What can I do for you?
Hi, Olga.
I'd be glad to.
Actually,
The fuck you want?
Mikhail,
Have some.
actually,
What's going on?
do you think you could...
But I'll...
Maybe some other...
You're the boss.